Hey folks, and welcome back to Glenn and Adrian's Rock Talk. That's Adrian.
And that's Glenn.
And today we're going to take a look at another Sina cover. This time it's going to be a Genesis track, and we love Genesis. In fact, we love Steve Hackett too. As you can see, I got the Steve Hackett. We both have the Steve Hackett framed photo in concert. And this has an iconic Steve Hackett guitar solo in it. But she's going to do Firth of Fifth for us today. And now this is from 2019. Somebody actually suggested this to us, and I thought, that sounds like a great idea. So the song was originally on Selling England by the Pound, which was their fifth album. It came out in October of 1973. Peter Gabriel on vocals. So those of you who know Genesis but maybe didn't know, Peter Gabriel was their vocalist for a long spell there early on. Well, you'll probably hear him here. I'm assuming she's going to play over the original studio track. Adrian, do you have any thoughts up ahead?
Oh, this is one of my many favorites from Genesis. I'll bet she's going to nail this one.
Yeah, that's her habit, is to nail these songs that she does. That's why we like watching her play and listening to what she does. And, often there are insights, even to songs that we've known for a long time. When we watch her play, we're like, oh, yeah, I didn't know that happened there, for whatever, or it was performed this way. She's pretty good at recreating what the original drummer probably did. By the way, those that don't know, the original drummer, Phil Collins. So a good time for the band, but, it was before their big era. All right, well, I'm definitely looking forward to this. So let's go ahead and check this out, and we'll discuss afterwards.
All righty.
The path is clear, though no eyes can see. The course laid down long before, and sown with gods and men, the sheep remain inside their pen. Though many times they've seen the way to leave, he rides majestic past homes of men who care not or gaze with joy to see reflected there the trees, the sky, and lily fair. The scene of death is lying just below. The mountain cuts off the town from view, like a cancer growth is removed by skill. Let it be revealed. A waterfall is madrigal, an inland sea is symphony. Na 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 na. I'm dying. leaves his flock away. The sands of time where he rode goodbye, the river of constant change.
Okay, thoughts, Adrian?
I'm just psyched that she chose to do a song by Genesis in the early era at that. And plays it just like Phil Collins did. That's no small feat at all.
She sounded just like Phil Collins. It was amazing. Right. And I learned a lot about what Phil was doing back there. I mean, I knew it, like every time she played something, I recognized it. But seeing her actually do it just provided a whole new insight. And the amount of study she had to do for this particular song, because she's right, she mentioned that up front. She put those notes up front that we never see. We've never seen before, I don't think, on any of these videos of hers, talking about how delicate the stuff is, how many dynamics there are in these songs. I mean, the dynamics and also, what was the other thing she said? Tempo. The fluctuating tempo throughout these songs, because they did not use click tracks, and there was absolutely no reason for them to do so as early Genesis, because the whole thing was kind of a storytelling exercise, usually, and the music was supposed to hit you in a certain way, and you couldn't do that if it were locked to a grid like that, Yeah. Phil, he was like a rubber band a little bit, he did what the band seemed to want to do for these songs. And she was right, you don't hear that anymore. These are things we've mentioned, dynamics, and tempo changing, things that are fantastic, but we just, they're kind of in short supply these days, especially the tempo thing, but dynamics is one of those things. It's almost a lost art in some ways. Not entirely. I mean, there are certainly plenty of artists that know how to use dynamics very effectively and do so. But Genesis, I mean, those are some of the classics. The stuff that Genesis did in classics and dynamics and shaping a song that way.
Yeah, she even slows down in the last verse with the Mellotron wash. She played along with Steve Hackett's guitar solo flawlessly. And I'm paying more attention now to the drums than even the guitar parts here, and that's a first.
Yeah, normally, I mean, we hear the drums, we like the drums. I think Phil Collins was just a spectacular drummer at this point in time. I mean, he was one of the greats in his heyday, Yeah. And it's a shame he can't play drums anymore. He's not able to, really. But he was right up there with the greats. I mean, they would hire Bill Bruford, and he would hold his own very well with Bill Bruford, So, yeah, for those that don't know, he's not just a singer. He doesn't just come up with catchy songs. He was also one of the amazing prog rock drummers. I mean, I think a lot of people probably know that listen to this, that knew this song going in. But I think it's just worth mentioning once in a while for the newbies, just to know. Study your early Genesis, your Nursery Crime. Trespass is a good one, but that's a little early. Foxtrot, Selling England by the Pound, for sure. And the last one with Peter was The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. Those albums are absolutely incredible. And they have other really incredible records, but those, it's on another level. I mean, I think they're one of the very best that ever happened. And just happy the way it all happened, I guess, I mean, we can talk about bands forever, but early Genesis is just in a class of its own in a particular way. And yeah, some of its majesty comes from the tempos. Shifting is needed. Like you get that big feeling you do at the end, because they slow the tempo down. It's funny, there's even, Peter even uses the word majestic in the lyrics in this song, so that's what they were going for. And she did such an amazing job on it. I'm telling you, that was amazing. Really happy to have seen that one. Thanks for whoever suggested that. Really appreciate it. Folks, why don't you let us know what you thought of this? If you've ever seen it before, if you were familiar with the song, if you even knew Genesis had Peter Gabriel in it at one point and that Phil Collins was just the drummer. Yes, I know he did some vocals back then a little bit, but nothing like later. But you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. If you have any history with Genesis, let us know about that. And also just let us know if you've seen Sina's cover before. We'd be interested to know that. And if you have other suggestions for us, leave those below, please. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And if you enjoyed our presentation, please subscribe. All right, thanks so much for joining us today, and we'll catch you on the next one. Take care, folks.
See you all later.